Salutations, this is Dave the Degenerate, and I'm here to give you another review. I'm taking a little break from the video series I was doing because my camera played up and decided to delete a bunch of things. Isn't technology wonderful, and we're making the world a better place? Anyway, this is a review of an amp that I don't actually own, but I was able to get my hands on one recently. This is the Orange Rocker 30. This is an all-valve driven amp. I'll explain a bit of it in a minute. I'm just getting this intro bit out of the way because I have to be professional and do things like that. So anyway, moving on. So where to begin on this really expensive amp? Well, you have your standard bass, mid and treb controls, which you would expect to get on any amp, particularly one of this price range. This is an all-valve 30-watt driven orange amplifier with that classic British tone, courtesy of the two EL34s that power it. That's right, it has two, it doesn't have four, because why would you need four when you're the kind of person who frankly just plays small gigs? I don't know, I'm going off this trail of thought thing that I do again, whatever, blame me. Anyway, you've got a dirty channel and a natural channel, which basically amounts to clean and overdrive, but you know, it's nice to have a little bit of rock and roll dirt going on in there. They work pretty much as you would expect these channels to work. You've got separate gain controls for both of them. The dirty channel itself actually has some nice crunch to it, particularly if you put an overdrive pedal in front of that with some good quality humbuckers and a good quality guitar. The natural channel is a little bit crunchier than most normal clean channels would be. You do get a bit of dirt out of it because this thing is really designed for rock and roll. But in total, you actually get a lot of bang for your buck, even though this thing is probably quite pricey. Well, I know it's cheaper than you would expect to see from something like a PRS Archon or a Marshall JCM 800, but you know, for a guy on my price tag, that's pretty pricey. I started, whatever, that's my professionalism. I'm not going to do a second take of this anyway. I'll cut back to the outro now. So, first impressions of this amp, this is probably one of the best amps I've ever used. Maybe not saying much. But the things to bear in mind with valve amps in general is that a 30-watt valve amp, which is what this is essentially the same as a 100-watt solid-state amp. It weighs a metric ton, you have to wait for the valves to warm up. Gets around that conveniently because it does happen to have a standby switch, which is very useful for letting the valves warm up. But the Celestion speaker that is inside this thing sounds brilliant. It's got tons of really crunchy, nice tones. Clean tones, they're okay. They could be a little cleaner, but I suppose this is something designed for rock and roll, so that's really what the amp does best. So there's a lot to recommend here. It's a classic orange vintage amplifier. It's what you would expect it to be. So here's some videos of me playing some stuff on it, just to show it off, because I'm nice like that. See you guys next week.